A while ago, I became interested in what Unturned had the potential to become. As we see it right now, the game is dying, and the Unturned community is going with it. At least, that's what it looks like for Europe and America. But what if I were to tell you that Unturned had an alive player base outside of these regions? Today, I would like to introduce you to Chinese Unturned. Immediately, it's important to understand that there isn't some huge bubble of Chinese Unturned players that we don't know about. In reality, I'm pretty sure there's only like 10 public servers running from China, but nevertheless, the content in them is wild. Starting off in this server that I'm playing on here, the glaring problem with outsiders accessing Chinese Unturned is the connection. Typically, I play on European servers with 100 ping or less, but on this server, I played at a consistent 500 ping, sometimes spiking into the thousands. Fighting zombies was not much of an option, and by the time I punched them client side, they had already hit me twice server side. Ignoring this problem, I decided to look around a bit, and I was blown away by the attention to detail that map makers had to put into this map. Realistic vehicles line the streets, items are realistic, the map itself was just huge, and custom props were everywhere. Before diving further into investigating the server and the gameplay of it, because that's not really the point of this video, it's important to understand where this map comes from. The map that is played on this server is titled Southern China, and has been listed on the Unturned workshop since October 2nd of 2021, and upon writing the script was updated about 2 weeks ago. The map has had over 270 change notes and over 1,200 ratings with 500 comments to accompany them. On top of this, the mod has had over 100,000 unique visitors, or downloaders, and just shy of that in current subscribers. With all this activity from primarily Chinese players on a Chinese Unturned map hosted on typically Chinese servers, or at least that's what we think, most people watching this video probably all have the same question in mind. How does this exist if China has so many restrictions on video games and online culture? The thing is, when it comes to the digital world, the government is extremely weak. What comes to most people's mind is China limiting children to 2 hours of video games per week, and possibly even the restrictions on accessing the foreign networks in what's known as the Great Firewall. What typically doesn't come to people's minds is how Chinese people get around these restrictions. Surveys in China have told that basically every other person is open about using a VPN or some other proxy service to evade their country's firewall. Along with this, it's important to take into consideration that the government doesn't actually have the time or resources to crack down on every bypass of their system. Children could easily play single-player games for hours a day, since they don't have to connect to any account. On top of this, if the servers that the games are running on are hosted outside of the country, say in Korea or Taiwan, there's nothing stopping the users from going for more than 2 hours a day, since China doesn't have any say over these servers. It's as simple as this. The rules in China are set up as regulations. Companies must follow them, but there's no consequences for individuals ignoring them. Explicit content is outlawed in Japan, yet if you were to ask anybody there about it today, they would almost certainly admit to having seen it. With all of this said, it's no surprise that online culture and video game culture is still as prevalent in China as in anywhere else. But for now, let's step away from the politics side and let's go back to Unturned. Unturned had recently seen many issues with its concurrent player count seemingly being inflated due to bots. While I believe that this probably is the case with bots still running from when Unturned issued free cosmetics every 24 hours, I believe that foreign countries like China also contribute to this. If a user is playing Unturned, a Steam game, in offline mode to avoid being tracked by their government, they wouldn't contribute to the game's Steam stats. If 10,000 people were doing this, it would carry the same issue. With all of this said, we're able to see the disconnect between Western and Eastern Unturned players and what happens in Unturned China. Tying everything from this video together, content on the map, and how players are able to play, let's go look at some of the creations seen on this server. Having just used Google Translate, I found something else sort of interesting. The number over here, shy of 24,000. That purple word there means rank. meaning that 24,000 people had played on the server before me. Which is insane. It's wild. Oh, what? What? Bro, why can't normal Unturned? Why does Chinese Unturned only have to be like this? Who's got the cola and the... Bro, this is player built. Where's got a sheep inside the house? What the hell? Well, this is Chinese Unturned, and they got a crafting table. Chinese Unturned. What? Yeah. This is insane. That's wild. What other music they got? Ain't no way. That's crazy. This is insane. Like, I'm pretty sure I know what a couple of these mods are, but like, this cannot, like, the attention to detail and everything. Like, all the, I'm guessing that a majority of this stuff is like placed here with intent and purpose. Oh, wait, that's like one person living, wait. It's like, that's 3 people living here. I'm not going to say anything about that. Wait, let's say 8.5 people? Oh, that's like their names. Damn. As you're able to see, these elaborate buildings have been constructed by groups of players featuring media references, custom assets, and hours of dedication, despite being made under what seems to be an oppressive online system. To wrap up this rather rant of a video, I want to pose one question to current EU and NA Unturned server owners and developers. Many people argue that the game is dying. If that is so, then why can't we have servers that look like this in EU and NA? To my understanding, this server may be a semi-roleplay server, but still, the mod's features seem to elevate the server to a level beyond what Unturned is typically seen as. I offer that we take a page from China's book in Unturned and create something new. The map isn't terribly modded with guns and items that make the game feel like Halo, but it definitely gives a bit of a more creative feel to Unturned. With this being used, perhaps we can get some more players back to the game. Anyway, if you wouldn't mind subscribing, I kind of want to hit 1,000 by January, and thanks for watching this video. I kind of just made it because I became interested after playing on one of these Chinese servers, and I wanted to do a little bit more research into it, and then share it with some other people. If there's a lot of questions in the comments, I might make another video about this topic, because I don't really think I covered a whole lot in this video, but oh well, see ya.